Each of us carries a unique light, an inner spark made of our experiences, wisdom, kindness, and creativity. It's not always loud or dazzling, but it's powerful. Sharing your light means showing up authentically, offering compassion when it's needed most, and using your gifts to uplift others. It's about choosing courage over comfort, generosity over silence, and hope over cynicism.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock, meaning it is time to share your light. I'm Chris, also known as CMG, and we're just here today again to shine a light on the community, seeing what makes people passionate, how they can be an asset to those around them, and how they can continue to grow in their respective spaces. So today I wanted to start off with another scripture. We have Third John and 1 and 2. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. So that just talks about, God wants us to be healthy. And this may be a little, not controversial, but a little hesitant topic, but we have someone who is working in the sexual health space. So we want to, yep, there she is. We can bring her in. Jewel, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. Hey, Jewel, how you doing today?
Good. How are you, Christopher?
I'm doing all right. So, like I said, you kind of work in the sexual health space, but tell us exactly, who you are and what you do, if you could.
Hi, y'all. My name's Jewel. I work at Babashi Transition to Hope, which is a sexual health and wellness nonprofit. It was founded during the HIV/AIDS epidemic in 1985, but since then, all of our service have kind of evolved. So we still are involved in sexual health and medical case management for people living with HIV. But we also offer a free food pantry, a clothing closet. We have a fully functioning wellness center for anyone who needs primary care or treatment or family planning, anything. And then we offer STI testing in-house and outside.
Nice. And so, like you said, you do testing, and I think you mentioned before we were talking. Well, y'all, this is one of my best friends, so we are very familiar with each other. But you were just telling me how you had a long day today. What happened today?
Mhm. So one of the, I guess you could say, responsibilities of my team, Prevention at Babashi, is providing sexual health screenings, as well as education offsite. So we partner with Lincoln University quite often. We went there today. We had our monthly visit. We just provided the students with HIV, syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea testing, which is something we do quite often, but it was a really good turnout today. So felt purposeful.
Felt purposeful. And how do
Yeah.
you feel you being a part of this organization kind of impacts the greater community?
I think it helps, especially with the youth and people younger than myself who might not be as educated on their sexual health or have that much autonomy over themselves. It helps to see someone that looks like them, providing them with the resources, and engaging them where they are. And I guess I can kind of like bridge the gap kind of because I know, like, I've been a college student before, I've been someone who didn't get tested, and now I'm in this space and I can help them, I guess.
Right. Because I just recently learned that, your organization is an acronym. And I think it also kind of plays into what we're talking about now. So could you give us what that acronym is and we can kind of move on from there?
Yeah, so Babashi stands for Blacks Educating Blacks About Sexual Health Issues. And despite the name, we're here for everyone. You don't have to be Black. And we're more than just sexual health as well. Like I stated, our programs have evolved. So we're for everyone, the whole community.
Nice. And I think that's good because do we feel like there are stigmas against getting tested in the, Black
Hmm.
community or just at large? Um,
Definitely.
why do you think it's frowned upon to be getting tested or to have your partner and talk to them about, hey, maybe we should go check out this clinic or anything of that nature?
I think there is a disparity in terms of access. A lot of people don't know that the resources are free. They don't know that they're as accessible to them, whereas you can just walk into our doors and get tested. It's free. We don't need any other information besides like what you fill out on your testing paperwork. I think there's also a huge stigma.
Hmm.
That could be, I think it's historical with some of us, but I think it's also just like I don't want people in my business. Um, It's a lot of things. I think for a lot of our clients, we see women getting tested more. I think we're, I guess, encouraged more to take power over our sexual health. I think a lot of men are wary of it. Even when we go out and do like HIV testing, the first people say, I don't have HIV. And I'm like, well, it's the HIV test to make sure you don't have HIV. So I think it's sometimes it's willful ignorance and sometimes it's just people don't know where they can go to get the help.
Right. And so I feel as though a lot in the Black community, especially men and men just in general, they always feel wary about going to the doctors or getting tested. I think it might be because, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because they just want to be strong. I got to hold it. If I don't know, then
Yeah.
there's nothing to be strong about. But if I do know, then I kind of feel caged in, whereas I could have been free before. What do you think about that?
I definitely think it has something to do with you having to be like this strong masculine figure, but I've learned in this job that masculinity looks a lot of different ways. And I think people only look at what the media shows them, what you see on TV and what the news shows you, and the stereotypical man that people show you. So I don't think people really take the time to venture outside of that norm or that box. Um, it's unfortunate. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
it's the world we live in. I think that's why we're so proud to like go into spaces with young men. We had a lot of young men get tested today and like encourage them to continue to get tested. They'll tell us like, yeah, I was playing it loose. I didn't use condoms. But I'm like, you have to be wary. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like you have to be wary about your health, period. Like if you don't care about your health, no one else is going to care about your health.
Exactly. And I think sometimes sex as a topic is kind of taboo for a lot of people. Who your partners are, what you're doing with it, and no, like you said earlier, no one wants people to be in my business. And so
Right.
with that, it kind of opens up the gate of being afraid, because what if there's something wrong, right? And me just finding out will kind of harm my chances of moving forward or
Right.
totally changing my life. So, say if someone has contracted one of these STDs or anything like STIs, how does your company help them move forward from there?
Well, the first step that we do is engage them with the wellness center. When you test positive, I was telling the students at Lincoln today, I'm like, you don't just test positive, we send you out to the streets. We give you the resources you need to move forward and continue to live a healthy sexual life. In office, like I said, we have our wellness center. So as soon as you test positive, you're put onto the schedule, you're taken to a provider, and they evaluate you and then give you the treatment that you need. I believe they also ask you about your sexual partner so they can also get the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
If it's anything more serious, I would say in terms of HIV, like I said, we have a medical case management team, and they work with our clients who live with HIV. So it's basically just making sure you're remaining adherent to your medicine. I think a huge misconception about HIV is that it only affects gay men and you can die if you have it. But in reality, if you're taking your meds how you should, your viral load will be so low that you're undetectable, and undetectable means untransmittable. So even if you're living with the virus, if you're taking your meds as you should, you can't give anyone HIV, if that makes sense.
It does. I
Does that
feel
make
as
sense?
though, yeah, I feel as though myself I was not aware of what undetectable actually meant. So I'm glad you were
Mm-hmm.
able to inform our viewers of that fact,
No
because
problem.
you just don't want to be ignorant to these facts. Even if you may not be sexually active, or even if you are and you've had a lot of partners, or if you had just one partner, you want to make sure that
Mm-mm.
you're up to date on
You
how
think you have one partner. Like, no, go ahead.
you think you have one partner. You want to expand on that a little bit?
No, I'm just saying, like, if you're not taking autonomy over your health, no one else will. So you can think that you're, dealing with one person, but you never know who this other person is dealing with. It's
Right.
just something I've learned in this field.
And so I think you're touching on the topic of communication, and communication is
Mm-hmm.
key in any relationship, especially a
Mm-hmm.
sexual relationship, because you don't want to just be exposing yourself to anything and anyone. You want to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you have that dialogue open so that you can be your healthiest self and so that they can be their healthiest self.
Indeed.
Indeed. And I see that you're a lead prevention navigator. So did you start off as a lead? How did you kind of work your way up to this position?
I didn't start off as a lead. I started off as just a regular prevention navigator. So my team is split into the DHH side and the CDC side. So the DHH side is more, they do more presentations, the education, the tabling. And the
DHH
CDC,
meaning what? I'm sorry.
oh,
What?
hold on. Uh, I don't know specifically, but I think it's the division. Don't quote me. I don't want
Okay,
to give
that's
the wrong
fine. Fine.
information.
I just wanted to see if we needed a separation just so we could understand better.
No, so DHH is one side, CDC is the other side. I'm
Okay,
sorry, forgive me, people.
that's okay. Don't even worry about it.
So,
Don't worry about
yeah, we're split into two sides. So one side is more like we all focus on the education portion, but they're more like they'll do open forums, they'll go to colleges, provide the presentations at schools, organizations. In my team, we do more outside testing and we have a focus on MSM and trans women. I started off on the DHH side. I didn't really enjoy it. I wanted to be moving around, I guess, more. Then
it.
I went to the
Mhm.
CDC side. Um, and I guess I showed my worth, so they thought I was worth promoting. And
Okay.
I've been there ever since.
Nice. So I would say, just knowing you and knowing myself, we're more on the reserve side. We like to
Yes.
kind of be behind the scenes. So why do you
Mhm.
think that you wanted to be kind of on those front lines? And how do you think, being a lead now, you've kind of
Mhm.
grown in that aspect?
I enjoy the work. I would definitely say I'm still behind the scenes. Like I'm not really like the prevention team is definitely we're the ones outside for the organization, but I would say I'm behind the scenes because I don't enjoy like I don't know, like, I don't like things like this, like being recorded and pictures and interviews. So we're
Mhm.
definitely still like we're community facing, like we're client serving. And I like it. I get to meet a lot of new people, just hearing their stories. I think people enjoy talking to me. I like hearing them. I like knowing how I can help. And if I can, I'm going to give them the resources that I'm privy of. Um, yeah, I love the work. It's cool.
I mean, that's good though, because you want people who can make people feel comfortable, especially
Hmm.
like in your work. You don't want people trying to come around and shame them or scare them or, just be a little bit off-putting. You want
Yeah.
someone who has, that energy that welcomes them in,
Hmm.
allows them to be themselves and open up. Because if they don't open up, how can you treat them properly, right?
Right.
So
Hmm.
if you open, you're able to be that ear, be that shoulder that they need so that they can get to where they need to be in their health.
Yeah.
Nice. And so it seems as though you like to help others. Would you say that is something you are passionate about?
I definitely have like a service heart. I don't know if that's what you'd call it. I think all of the jobs that I've ever worked are definitely like community oriented. I've been serving people. I'm customer service oriented, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, was that your question? I feel like I didn't answer the question.
No, I was saying that. And why do you think you're passionate about it? I would
Oh,
say.
I don't know. I'm an empath, I would say. I know what it feels like to like not have someone help you or not see you as worthy of something. So it's very easy for me to like recognize the human worth in someone, whether someone else does or does not.
Mhm.
And it's a blessing and a curse, but I'm using it for good at this point in my life.
So let's talk about it being a blessing first.
Yeah.
Well, how is it a blessing to you?
I don't know. I think when you're an empath and you have a light, some people might want to dim it or take it from you. And I
Mhm.
think other people will want to elevate that.
Yeah.
So I think it's about using my own discernment, not necessarily like in my professional life, but personally, because this
Um,
is like a battle I go through as well. So I think it helps that I'm this bright person at work, but it's like when it comes to day-to-day interactions with people who you're not necessarily aware of like what their wants are. Like at work, I know
mhm.
what you need from me. But when you're
Right.
outside dealing with like personal relationships and family and all of these things, it's like I don't know, like people's energy isn't always genuine. So I have to be wary
Right.
of like who I give, you know, my full capacity to because people will really try to take your light. They'll see that you're an empath and you care about people and they will use you. And it's sad. That's it.
No, I understand that a lot. I mean, we've had our own conversations about this topic many a time.
Yes, like
That's how, we're on the show talking about sharing your life. So,
yeah.
what would you say are some tools you've been utilizing, if you have been, because I know it's
Hmm.
a journey to
Hmm.
kind of guard yourself in a way, but not completely hide your light, because you want to be able to shine. You want to be able to shine brightly, whether you're
Hmm.
in the workspace or at in your interpersonal relationships.
Hmm.
So, if anything, do you have any advice on that?
My advice would to be not to change who you are. I feel like it's hard to let the world like harden you and make you like this mean person because of your experience, but I think that you're going to be who you're meant to be, and I don't think you should let anyone else like take from you what you were given. Like you're this way for a reason.
Right.
Um, I journal, I work out, I do things that make me feel good. So even when someone tries to like take something from me, like I can still ground myself. I don't need someone else's validation to make me feel good because it's from inside of me. But yeah, I think you just got to keep focusing on the positive and not the negative. Like, yeah, you may have been hurt or not seen in the situation, but something positive came out of it. Like, you didn't need them around. You're making space for something better.
I love that a lot.
So that's
Just
it.
being positive, and I laugh
Yeah.
because I don't know. I don't want to toot myself on the horn. I feel like playing that a little time. No, but I'm just saying. I felt as though in my own journey and trying to shine my light and trying to stay
Hmm.
positive and not get taken over by the darkness that the world is so
Hmm.
surrounded with.
Adamant about, yes.
Um, it's just I try to see the positive in everything, because I
Hmm.
always say, just as much as something can go wrong, something can go good. Just as
Hmm.
much as you can focus on the bad, you can focus on the positive.
Yep.
And it always seems as though no one really wants to hear that. No one wants
Hmm.
to hear,
I
oh,
just,
it's
I
good thing,
know.
it's good thing. Why do you think that is?
Because when you're going through something, you don't want to hear that it's going to be okay. No, let me
Hmm.
be upset. Let me sit in my emotions. Like, remind me 2 days from now when I've had time to seethe first. I don't
Hmm.
want to hear it right now, Christopher. Okay? That's
I've
why.
definitely heard that before, but
Yes.
I mean, and what I've learned, moving forward from that, is that two things can be true. So something can go wrong, and something can be upsetting, and you have the right to sit in it. But I think I always try to at least, put it out there or draw the attention. Like, even if you
Mhm.
can't see it right now, that light is still, down
Yeah.
the lane.
Mhm.
So sit in, your
Yep.
hurt, sit in your pain, and your emotions. But remember
Mhm.
that, better pastures are up ahead. You don't have to be
Definitely.
forever.
Yeah. I think everyone's allowed to have their moments. I think when you let that moment become you and consume you, I think that's when it's a problem.
Exactly.
Everyone has their own experiences and coping. So, you
Right. And it's always like, hurt people hurt people. I've heard that
know.
before. And so
Sure.
you don't want to continue that cycle of,
Mhm.
being a pain bringer or a
Mhm.
darkness giver or whatever.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Be able to uplift and, help others.
Yeah.
So I would say, how do you think you have been able to be that light for others?
Um, I don't know. I
Maybe.
think that I'm like a lover at my core. So I
Mhm.
think even when like you get taken for granted or betrayed by family or friends or whoever, like I can't stop being this way. Like I can't stop being a giver. I can't stop being like a kind person. Like
Mhm.
it might
Mhm.
be naive, but it's like I can't help it. So I don't know any other way to be. Like I try to be a mean person, like just to guard myself, but I can't do
Yeah.
it. I just be like, I wouldn't I know how it feels to be treated, to be on the other side of that. So
Yeah.
why would I make you feel like trash? That's not making me feel better.
Exactly. And I think
Rather
that,
just
yeah,
release it. Like you just gotta let it go.
exactly. Because, like, they always say holding grudges, or like holding that unforgiveness or trying to be mean,
Hmm.
that doesn't get you
Is
anywhere. It only
It
hurts.
weighs on you. Yes, like it hurts your chest. Weird.
And it doesn't make sense because you would think, if this person did me dirty, then me, making sure that I be strong against them, it would,
Mhm.
bring you help. But like, you're just holding a rock, and
Yeah.
it's only gonna get bigger as time goes on, unless you
Uh-huh.
give that rock
Yeah.
up.
I want
Yeah.
my spirit to be light, yo. I can't like, yeah, that was wrong. I
Mhm.
forgive you, but we can't, people don't need to be around you. Everyone doesn't deserve to go with you wherever it is you're going. Like that's just it.
And I think that's a really good point because in the scriptures it talks about, guarding your heart. And
Hmm.
it doesn't say build a wall up around your heart, right? But it
Hmm.
just says guard it. So you don't have to be shut off from everyone because we're meant to be in community. We're meant to be talking with others,
Hmm.
fellowshipping with others, communing with others, loving with others.
Right.
But when you have people who kind of try to snatch your light away from you or try to
Hmm.
dim who you are, you definitely have to be wary of them. You don't have
Hmm.
to cut them off completely, but maybe you do if that's, your prerogative, but you can just distance yourself. You don't have to have
Hmm.
that enter into your space constantly making you or forcing you to be someone you don't want to be. So I
Okay.
think so I think we're both on that journey. Do you
Mhm.
think it is something that happens quickly? Do you think it's something that you're always have to continue to do? What do you think about that?
I think it depends. I think with time, like I think you don't I hear people say like time heals everything. Like, no, baby, I still got these wounds. Like
Mhm.
I'm coping differently now. I don't cry as much, but it still lives there.
Right.
I think you just as time goes on, you can acknowledge that it happened, but you can still be grateful that you're not like you come out stronger than you were. Like you have to go through certain things, you have to lose people in order to evolve as a human. I think hurt is part of life in a sense. I think if you didn't hurt, then you wouldn't know like the value of love.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I think you have to take the good with the bad, honestly. And it hurts in the moment, but like later on, I'll be grateful for it.
Yeah.
um, yeah.
I think you made a really good point. You said if you don't receive that hurt, then you kind of don't know the value of love.
You jaded to it.
You're jaded to it. You get
Like
used
it's
desensitized to it even because we see that in social media all the time where these terrible things are happening and it's like, oh,
mhm.
okay, and we just scroll
Yeah.
to something new. But in ourselves with interpersonal communication and interpersonal relationships, you want to be aware of what happens because you don't want to take that hurt into another relationship because then how
Right.
can that new person love you properly or
Mhm.
deal with you properly if you
Yeah.
are still focused on what happened in the past.
Mhm. That's where healing comes in. So you got to acknowledge what happened, and it's okay to not be okay. Um, I
Mhm.
think it's a lifelong journey to heal with those wounds. Again, like time is going to like make it fade a little bit, but if you don't acknowledge what it is and know that you have stuff to work through, then you won't get better. If you can't, you know, like
Yeah,
lying to yourself and say this isn't a problem isn't going to help you.
right. And I think that's where sometimes people may have thought I was coming from, where like a toxic positivity, because
Hmm.
there is toxic positivity, just ignoring the fact that this happened, just
Hmm.
like, oh, it's all sunshine and rainbows. No, it does rain, it does,
Yeah.
but what comes next is the sun,
Hmm.
clouds do part and the light shines through. So
Hmm.
it's in those moments where you feel down, you feel depressed even, you know that it's not going to be like that always. And as you even made a point earlier, you will change, you will evolve. The way in which you love will evolve.
Hmm.
The way in
Yep.
which you show up for yourself will evolve. And I think that is just essential to becoming who you're meant to be, you know?
It is.
All right. So I just want to kind of go back to um,
Hmm.
how you can implement this type of thinking
Hmm.
with what you do for work. And do you think that Well, I'll say that first, and then I'll ask you the next question.
How can I implement this with my work? Um, I don't know. I don't think clients can necessarily hurt me. I think you can become kind of overburdened in a sense. Like
Okay.
not overburdened, but like sometimes it can be overwhelming. But I think that just comes with reframing it. Like these people the people that I'm serving need it. They need my energy more than I need like a seat right now. Like they're coming to me because I can provide them a service. So I'm cool with doing it radically. Like that's one of our tenets, like radical customer service. So I think being a social worker, like it's ingrained to me to serve somebody as best you can, like whether you're tired or not.
Yeah.
Um, but I think you just got to lead with like love, like not with anger or judgment or anything like that. Like that's work.
So do you find yourself kind of checking your problems at the door and then going and do what you got to do? How is that a good thing to do?
When I can, I do. If I need to take a walk, I will. It's rare. I'm very good at like compartmentalizing till I get home, and when I'm home, I'm home. Like I can
Yeah.
let my guard down in a sense. But like when I'm at work, it's some days where you walk in, and it's a client right there. So it's
Yeah.
like you can't be like, oh, I can't deal with you right now because I had a long night, long drive, it was traffic, da da da. Like
Yeah.
you came to work to do a job, so you got to do it. It's okay to like give yourself breaks and like because self-care is important. Like I can't give to you what I don't have, but if I have it and you need it and I can provide it, I'm going to give it to you. Like if I don't have it today, I can't give it to you,
Okay. So
so
you
I got
said,
to make sure I have it.
uh-huh. So
So
you said
I
that was
got
really good. That was really good. You said, if I can't give it to you, if I don't have it, I can't give it to you. And you're talking
hmm
about self-care. So why do you think, well, I mean, you kind of just touched on it, but like self-care in and of itself, how is that important to our community? Do we think that it is something that is touched upon enough? Like,
I think self-care is very important. I think especially when you're well in any job industry, like you're working, I feel like we shouldn't be I think a lot of people are in survival mentality, especially in this like economy, this political climate. Like, I just need to get through the day. I just need to make sure my bills are paid. I just need to make sure like I got food,
mhm,
somewhere to sleep. Like, a lot of people are in survival mentality, so they do whatever it is they need to do to feel okay. But I think it's important to like find things outside of work and money to make you feel good. Like I said, I journal, I go to the gym. Like that makes me feel grounded. It makes me feel like I'm doing okay. I can keep track of it. If I'm not doing okay, I can go back, read a year ago when I was doing worse and be like, I'm thankful for this moment.
mhm.
Like, I don't know. I think we got to not that people are ungrateful, but like in the moments where you feel like frustrated or sad, like just count your blessings to that moment, like literally.
Right.
Like for this and the third.
Because it's and what you were saying, I realized, or I thought about the fact that sometimes we are in answered prayers, right?
Yeah.
We kind of always in this economy, like you said, in this capitalistic society, it feels like we always have to make it to the next. We
Mhm.
continue to raise the bar, but in doing so, we forget that the bar was something out of our reach
A
just
lot of
maybe a month or so ago.
yes.
Like we said, a
Mhm.
year or so ago. So we
Yes.
need to continue to recognize and practice gratitude, saying that I may not be where I want to be in this current moment, but I'm not where I was. You know,
Yeah.
I'm continuing to evolve, continuing to change, continuing to better myself.
Mhm.
Because doing so, I will be able to walk higher, stronger, and with more love, if
Yeah.
that makes
That
sense.
makes sense. Yes.
That's nice. Any last couple points you want to give to the crowd, if they're watching?
Um, no, I don't have any more points. Be nice to each other, y'all. It's hard out here. Be kind. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all I
Be
got.
kind, be nice,
Yeah.
and share your light. Thank you for
hmm
sharing your light with me today. Um, it's always good when someone can pour into you and when you can pour into someone else. So I
hmm
appreciate you being on here, helping me out with this ongoing project, this
No
ongoing
problem.
new thing
Got
that's
some
going
people for
on in
you.
my life. So I appreciate you standing up. And I think
No
that
problem.
also goes into it,
Yeah.
making sure you have your community, making sure you're building your community.
Yes.
And having those people that will stand next to you, stand behind you, and
Mhm.
walk for you. So I'm grateful to you.
Thank you, Chris.
Honestly, I know you're grateful for me, but no,
Oh
I
my goodness.
appreciate you, and
Nah.
I think we are there for today. Make sure you like and subscribe, everyone that's watching. Hit that button, and join us next time when sharing your light. Thank you.